Not much. Just slam some lasagna.
Oh, dude, of course, Taco Bell.
Yeah.
So good.
No,
Lasagna.
I was at my dad and brothers. Came home and Elizabeth just made this awesome lasagna. We had some Greek salad. It was awesome.
I love some lasagna. That's probably my text. Hey,
That
everybody.
was
Happy Sunday night.
actually it wasn't your text. If it was your text, it would have been like do 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 do.
Oh, yeah. That'd have been cool.
The problem with that is that I normally don't have my phone open, and I have my watch on, so it goes to the watch. You know?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, someday I'll surprise you with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. You got that. So many tabs. Justin from Cleveland. Hello. Oh, man. It was windy here today, man.
Yeah. It was it started getting cooler. We had like a lot of rain yesterday, but I did sneak in 18 holes in the morning, so that was awesome.
I need to start playing golf. I was watching Masters.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, this is like the weekend where I normally like get all in, but like usually the weather isn't that good here yet. I've already had like 5 rounds. Like I played on Wednesday, well, as you know, and then I played I played yesterday, and I played like 2 other 18-hole rounds already. So getting some good golfing. I'm gonna book a lesson though.
Are you?
Yeah, I am. Like last year, like I went all in, because of COVID. Like it was like the one activity you could do, So I played a ton of golf, but I was terrible, and I've always been kind of terrible. But like now, like I kind of like got that itch. Like I want to like kind of get good at it. So I'm gonna take some lessons.
Yeah, I might have to ask Andy to like go because I don't have anybody to play with here. So maybe Andy, my brother.
I'll just drive out. Like we'll play a weekend.
we'll play somewhere in the middle of Illinois.
Yeah. Actually, Michigan, man, has some gorgeous courses. There actually are some decent ones in Illinois too, I think. I mean, wherever you go, you're gonna find a good course.
Right. We need to play when we're down there next time again. That was fun.
Dude, that was fun. We just can't get sore, right? We can't like throw our backs out or anything like that.
I'm back. I mean, I did Top Golf and I hung in there. I was surprised. That kind of got me excited to try to play.
Dude, that'd be a blast, man. I mean, the summer is brutal. We have to do that sunrise 9 for sure and get out there early.
Sandwich for real. Okay, so let me hit this button and we'll do a show. All right, there's that.
Is there any news?
I got 3 stories: the mask thing, the Mirrors Magical Express, and Club Cool.
You got that covered, or I need to open up a link?
Oh no, yeah, let's alternate. Yeah, just go to the Mask for Less. I'll pop it up on the screen though, so people can see. Yeah, you can do the mask story. I'll do the Magical Express, and then you can do the Club Creation Shop thing.
I'll do the what? Which one?
You do the mask one. That'll be first. Okay. I'll do the mirrors, and you do the last one. You'll do 2 of the 3. Okay, here we go. That's how we like it, Andrea. She's listening to Friday's podcast. Got the notification we're live. Yes, thank you very much. And shout out to who was that in St. Louis? Kate. She's in the Metro East over in Illinois. Okay, here we go. Well, hey, everybody. Happy Sunday night for all those folks tuned in live to the BOGP Open Line, or also known as You, Me, and Scotty G. We're hanging out here live on Facebook and YouTube for the next hour, taking your calls at 407-413-9395. Once we get through the news, we're going to have a good time. Also, hey, everybody, Thursday, listening to this on the feed. Hope the week is going well. We're already almost to the next weekend. Got to like that. I love talking to people in the future. So glad you're here, tuned in live. We have a big audience tuned in here on Facebook and YouTube. And if you missed this live, if you are catching it on the feed, join us this coming Sunday night. It'll be 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. Just go to the Be Our Guest Podcast Facebook or YouTube page, whichever one you prefer. So let's get my co-host in here, and he's freshly off some golf and a great weekend. We have your buddy and mine, hashtag Scotty G. What's going on, Scott?
Hey, Mike. Always great being in here on a Sunday, chatting with everyone. As you mentioned, the golf, like it was a big golf weekend. Played golf on Saturday, and I actually played some disc golf today with the Frisbee, so that was kind of different too.
Oh my gosh. I used to play a ton of disc golf because that's my kind of sport, right? It was free. Like, and the thing was, I found a couple of discs on the course, so then I didn't even have to, I had a driver, a putter. I was good. Yeah.
Dude, you'd be amazed. So I went to my dad and brothers today to play our Stratomac baseball game. And my brother was like, hey, I was on a walk the other day, and this park close to their house has a disc golf course. He's like, let's go check it out. And Mike, there's like an app that like keeps score for you now and like keeps track of like how many steps you take and like the amount of like yardage you covered, or well, I guess in most cases feet that you covered on a disc golf course, like it is super cool. And to your point, it's free. Just get the disc and you get some outdoor fresh air, some exercise. It's awesome.
Yeah, I haven't played that in ages. I need to get back. I haven't played golf since last time I played golf was with you and Steve and some other guys down at Walt Disney World. Bad idea before marathon weekend, right before running Dopey. Kind of hosed my back. But
dude, those are some of my favorite memories, though. Like those slow-mo videos that Steve was taking of us, like are some of my favorite videos. Great commentary by Steve.
We just wanted to drive the golf cart over at well, we played Lake Buena Vista right over there. So
yeah, we played LBV. Yep, that's the hardest I hear of all the courses too.
Of course it is.
And my dues went up way big time after that. I'm a DVC owner at Old Key West, and I hit a couple villas for sure.
Yes, I even have video. You hear the, if you're watching the Masters, you hear that great, smack of the golf ball. Then about 3 seconds later, you're bam, hitting the villa.
Glass.
Awesome. We got in the car and drove away, like whatnot. So anyway, all right. So let's hit the news over at the mouseforless.com. You can always check out the news. Just go to the mouseforless.com, click on the news tab at the top of the screen, and I will share it here if I can. Let's see here. I'm going to go this, and we're going to talk about this is an exciting story. So Scott's going to lead us off with changes coming to the mask policy at Walt Disney World.
Yeah, so this is really awesome when this news came out. So Walt Disney World changes face mask policy for taking photos. So I'm just reading this from the Mouse for Less. I'll kind of give a Cliff's Notes version, but I'll read through here too. Since Walt Disney World reopened, they've been following very strict face mask policies, as we all know. Currently, guests Asian 2 and up have to wear face coverings at all times. But this last week, I believe it was supposed to be like April 8th, but I think they might have even kicked it off a day early, Mike, if I recall, for some of the photos I saw on social media. But basically, if you're taking a photo, keeping isolated to your party, right, you can get a PhotoPass photo and take your mask off, which I think is great. I was just thinking we might talk about this on a future show too, Mike, where, there's friends and families that I haven't taken a maskless photo with in front of like a park icon in like a really long time. And I think that's going to be great. I think it's going to be great for social media where people are going to be posting these photos out there for people to see. So I think this is a huge win for Disney. And I think it's a safe play too, because it's for outdoors too. So if I'm reading through the article, the current face mask policy is that, as a reminder, all face coverings must be made with at least 2 layers of breathable material, fully cover the nose and mouth, and secure under the chin. I think we kind of all know the rules of the face mask policy. But this update where you can take it off for photos outdoors only, so not indoors, I think is going to be a big win for Disney.
I agree.
And us, the fans, for the guests. That's going to be great.
That's right. I mean, I'm just excited that at least it is moving that way. I mean, it's a baby. It's definitely like a little teeny tiny baby step, but it is a step in that direction. So you're going to hear just a little inside baseball. You're going to hear a little bit more about this discussion on tomorrow's show because
it's tomorrow. I knew we talked about it. I didn't know when it was going to air. So yeah, so tomorrow. Yep.
So you will get that. All right. Here's another story that we've kind of talked about here over the past couple of months, and this was kind of to be expected. Mears, who, if you don't know, operates Disney's Magical Express, always has for Disney. Disney just kind of contracts with them. They are going to basically run their own version of Magical Express, running from the airport MCO over to Walt Disney World and back. That's going to obviously come in 2022 when Disney's Magical Express ends. They say that in May, so next month, they're going to give some pricing details on this. I'm curious where they're going to set the price point, because obviously it was not free for all of us to get to and from the airport in your Walt Disney World resort. Disney just kind of ate that cost to keep you on site. So now we're going to kind of find out what the cost was. The discussion has been about that Brightline train, the train that's going to run directly from MCO to Walt Disney World over in the Disney Springs area. But over the last couple of weeks, there's been some discussions with, they're having conversations on where this line should exactly go. I think Universal Studios jumped in and had some conflicts with the original plan. So again, any kind of public transportation infrastructure project like this is going to run into snags and slowdowns at some point. So I think that this is going to be something that is going to be very important, because a lot of us like that, to land at MCO, jump on a motor coach, get over to Walt Disney World as quickly as we can without having to deal with car seats, car rentals, anything like that. I would imagine that this is going to be very, very similar to Magical Express. I mean, the buses obviously won't say Disney's Magical Express, but I bet you there'll be themed buses even. I would imagine this will be about as close as you can get. So, Scott, what are your thoughts on this?
I think so too. On the last comments you were saying, I think the only thing I'd be missing is that awesome video, right? Which is magical on the way there, not so magical on the way back. So it evens out, right? But no, I think you're totally online. And as my family has grown, like we've kind of gotten away from the Magical Express a little bit. We like the rental car, but I just remember those first few trips, like especially our first trip. This is like one of the key things that sold me on the trip to Disney. Is like, like I've never rented a car before in my life. I had never been on an airplane. I'm like, how are we going to get there? And doing the research, we saw about Magical Express, and I thought this was like one of the best benefits. And I was pretty bummed when I saw it was taken away, even as someone that doesn't use it on the regular basis. I think it was a great option, and I'm really excited to see it back. Very curious what that pricing is going to be, though. They gotta keep it fair, right? Like it can't be like $100 a person. That just I don't know what the fair price point is, I guess, but I'm very curious to see what that's going to be.
So what the price point for Disney Cruise Line ground transfers, which gets you from MCO to Port Canaveral, now that's a longer trip. That's about a 50-minute trip. It's $39 a person each way. So if I had to guess, I would say that it's going to come anywhere between $35 and $45 per person.
They got to look at car. I mean, they got to be smart. Like they got to look at the car rentals, right? They want to be able to beat that price. I feel like, so
I mean, obviously this is going to be advantageous because if you take this, you don't have a car and you don't have a daily car, you're talking $15 at a value, and then it goes up from there. So
yeah, that's true. I'm sure Twitter and social media is going to blow up when the price point comes out. Everyone will have an opinion on it. We will too. I'm sure on the Be Our Guest we'll follow that story when it comes out, but this is an awesome step in the right direction for 2022.
All right, last story of the day, and then we're going to hop into some calls here. Is this right? Because I haven't been following news too close this weekend. Club Cool coming back to Epcot.
I saw a little piece of this. Yeah, like I'm very intrigued about this article.
So what do you got? Go for it.
I was going to read this one. I thought you were going to.
It doesn't matter. Either one of us. You go for it.
All right. So this is going to be new to me too, kind of as I'm reading this. So I'm sure our listeners are going to be like, how do you guys not know about this yet? But Creation Shop and Club Cool to open at Epcot this summer. Wow. I mean, it's already like mid-April, so this is going to be coming soon. So a brand new shopping experience will be opening at Epcot this summer. The Creation Shop will be replacing Mouse Gear and will offer a large amount of Epcot merchandise. Sign me up for that, as well as more great Walt Disney World souvenirs. So it'll probably be kind of similar, I'm guessing, right? Kind of like have some generic stuff, but some cool Epcot stuff as well. The shop, well, maybe Ricky will have it here. The shop will feature a sleek design that will be open, bright, and welcoming. In addition, there will be a large Mickey Mouse mural, as well as homages like that Mickey threw out. The shop will also include a dynamic.
She put Mikey in the story.
Yeah, like she's throwing me off by reading this. But basically, we're gonna get this cool shop, right, to kind of replace Mouse Gears. But the other twist to this story is that Club Cool will be returning. So which I think is really awesome. I know I've missed that. Besides the sticky floor, I have not missed the sticky floor at Club Cool. But this new shop will celebrate Coca-Cola in a fresh new way. And as Ricky put it, and yes, we knew you were going to ask, you'll still be able to sample beverages. Woohoo! Awesome. That'll be found from around the world. I think of Jay with the Beverly. Mike, did you have a go-to? Did you have like a favorite one, or did you go in there and kind of taste them all? Did you mix them? What was your strategy with Club?
I mean, I would sample them, but none of them were very good. I mean, there's a reason they were free. I mean, I didn't have like any of them that I really liked. I mean, Coke Zero, I'm a Coke Zero all the way, but yeah, nothing else was. I'd rather have water.
I'm kind of with you, but there was like some lemon or lime one that was kind of refreshing to me. I can't remember the name of it, but I enjoyed that. I always tasted the Beverly. I always said maybe this would be the time it would taste okay, and I was wrong every single time. This was a fan favorite though, right? I think people like to go in there and like kind of taste everything. There's some cool Coca-Cola merchandise in there. I mean, we have the Coke store, but this would be cool to have return at Epcot. So I think this is awesome.
Couple things too. They should bring. Well, did you ever get to go through the Club Cool cave?
No.
Or it went out. Okay, yeah. So they had the cave you used to crawl through, which was kind of cool. It was really freezing, but they should bring that bear over. That
yes,
bear. He's in. Well, not now, obviously, COVID times, but before that, you can meet him for free. And he was.
Yeah, I loved meeting the bear. Like on the, I don't think it was quite at the rooftop. I think it was like on the second floor or something, right? At Disney Springs. That was really cool. Cool. I'm trying to envision this though. Is it going to be like in the same spot? Is it going to be part of the store? That's where I'm kind of struggling right now. But either way, it's cool news.
I'm guessing that since it's a part of this Creation Shop, because Creation Shop is replacing Mouse Gear, so I would say that now Club Cool is going to be on as you're walking towards World Showcase on your left instead of your right.
Yep.
I would guess. No, I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking too. Like, right? Because to your point, the article is like together, like announcing both of them. So maybe it'll just be like a smaller version of Club Cool, kind of tucked away into the store with the Creation Shop. Who knows? But I love seeing announcements like this and just seeing updates on Epcot. We've been living in a construction world forever, it seems, with Epcot. So this is really cool to see.
I agree. Just something to go into and shop and all that stuff. So yeah, so that's what we got for the news this week. Also, there was some news, kind of rumor, no details, but just because this is going to be something that may prove me correct over Ricky, is that there were some not rumors, but speculation that Harmonious is closer than you might think. I'm thinking before October 1st, like I've been saying, I would not rule out July for Harmonious. Yeah. It's just a guess. I'm just saying. I said that months ago.
I know, like 4th of July, like, oh man, that'd be crazy.
Well, they're too aggressively moving things into place, testing. I mean, for October, right? I just think that I think it'll happen before. So we'll see. I don't know. But I mean, and also, so somebody today reached out on Instagram and said that she wanted to discuss the Harmonious barges on World Showcase. Hopefully we get to talk about that tonight. Also, one other thing you can call in and talk about tonight. We've got lots of topics on the table. Friday, we talked about experiences at Walt Disney World that still amaze us, 50 times in, 75 times in, 100 times in, that when you're on it, you're like, I still can't believe this is like doing this. And the two that I gave for an example were the Tower of Terror elevator, when it goes across, like forward into, and moves through the scene at the top of the hotel. Like that still is crazy that an elevator can go up a shaft, move forward, and then drop 100 yards down the way. That is this crazy technology. And it's still, every time I'm just like, this is nuts. And I hope it works because it's about to drop me like 13 stories. And then we haven't been able to do this one quite a bit, but it's that mirror in Enchanted Tales with Belle, right? You're sitting there watching, it's magic, and there's projections on it, and also you can walk right through right through the middle of it. It's gone. It's just that it's nuts because it's a projection something or other, and it's magic. So those are the two examples I give. So if you have something like that, something that still amazes you, no matter how many times you've been to Walt Disney World, let us know. So let's open up the phone lines. 407.
I didn't listen to that episode yet, but it amazes me how many dogs they can put together in that shot in Impressions de France.
That's true. Yes, the beagle.
I'm just kind of joking, but it is cool. Like I love seeing all those dogs like running at you on the screen. It's one of my favorites.
I didn't know those were they're so big in France, right? I mean, they're everywhere. Yeah. And Karen's got a good one in the live chat. She's talking about the Voices of Liberty singers. No matter how many times you get choked up, like you're just like, oh, that's like it's the talent of the singers and the environment of the rotunda. It's awesome when they're in there. Okay, 407-413-9395, 413-9395. Gino's listening in, and he says getting some pre-trip mojo from BOGP. Gino, I know you're getting ready to head down to Animal Kingdom Lodge, Kidani Village. How cool is that?
That sounds great to me.
For real.
Got a lot of steps in there, though, if you got a Savannah room.
Hey, man, I'm all about the steps. All right, we have our first caller of the night. Hey, who's joining us?
This is Trisha and Lorelei from Wisconsin.
Hey, Trisha.
Oh, Trisha and Lorelei. How's it going?
Say hi. Hi.
Hi. How are you?
We just got back from our trip, our resort only trip this week.
Lay it on us. How'd it go?
Did you have a good time?
Yeah.
Where do we stay?
The
yacht
club.
Yeah.
Oh.
And where do we go swimming?
In the Caribbean.
Nope, Stormont Bay.
Stormont Bay.
Yeah.
So I have a question for Lorelei real quick on that topic, because Scott is going to ask if I don't. Did you go down the flying jib slide? That's one of our favorites.
You beat me to it.
Yes, yes, I did.
That is so fun. I love that slide.
Yeah, you got me to go down too. I almost lost my contact.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
One thing I want to do, I always want to take my phone or my camera up there because there's an awesome view of France from up there.
Yeah, we actually saw a family with those little GoPros on a stick going down the slide. while they were holding that. So I'm surprised they held on.
I'm surprised they allow that. I mean, I guess you're not hurting anybody. You're not going to run into anybody because I think they make sure you're totally clear before the next person comes shooting down. Yeah, that's a pretty not intense, but it's a pretty quick little slide for a hotel pool. I like it. I will say, Lorelei, you were crushing some Mickey bars. I saw in those pictures your mom sent me earlier this week. Well done.
I did want to make a comment about the mirror travel. We didn't use Magical Express this time. We just did Lyft. And if you're checking a bag, you have to hike halfway across the airport. Especially, we almost always use Southwest. Mm-hmm. So I feel like we have to cross back and forth to go get our bags and then find our way to Magical Express. So I think for the two of us, we just had carry-ons. It was like $35. So if Mears is going to compete with that for two people for $35 to take you directly to your hotel, I think it could be kind of a challenge.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because, again, we don't know, and I'm just guessing. But I don't think they can go lower than that. But again, I think here's the deal. We're going to be taking Lyft or Uber, whatever, when we go down in a couple weeks for cheerleading, because we're staying at Disney Springs to get there. So we don't have that option of Magical Express. We will use Magical Express on the way back because Mallory and I are staying at Coronado for a couple extra nights. But, some people, and like Scott gave the perfect example, right? You go down to Walt Disney World. This is, you're not really a world traveler. People go to Walt Disney World that don't travel a lot of other places. And I think a lot more people are going to be comfortable getting on a big bus, that's kind of, it looks safer than getting in some dude's car, which I know Uber and everything. I ride it all the time. My wife, we all do. Paige does. And we're fine with it because we were comfortable with it. But I don't know if you find some other folks in Wisconsin or folks in Missouri where we just drive our cars all the time. It kind of seems a little foreign, but I think, you're connected because we talk about it a lot and all that kind of stuff, but I don't know if the average guest is going to be a big fan of Uber or Lyft. I don't know.
I did it by myself for my very first time on my solo trip in January. And it was a little weird, but I called my husband in it to let the driver know I was talking to him. So, it was fine. I mean, they're clean. They feel safe. I think one thing, Lorelei, though, you want to talk about the hot air balloon and why Mike should go on it because he doesn't want to go on it.
I told you in the email, I'm not riding the balloon. Okay, go ahead, Lorelei. Why should I ride the balloon?
It's a really pretty view.
Yes. Can you
it's a pretty view.
Yeah, you can take a picture and I'll look at it when you come down.
We just need to get enough margaritas and Mike, and then we'll get him up there.
I did just make my ADR for Paradiso 37 today, so
maybe
I'll do it after that.
It wasn't as scary. I'm not a fan of heights, and it wasn't that scary. So
all right.
He was great.
I bet. Well, you're braver than I am. I mean, obviously, you're a daredevil. Yeah, and you crush Mickey bars constantly, so that's good.
So how long was the resort only stay? This sounds awesome though, because I love Yacht Club. I love the resort. So how was this trip without going to the parks?
I had initially, right before we left, buyer's remorse, oh, we're so close to Epcot. I wish I would have gotten a ticket to go in. And then it actually was pretty hot when we were down there. And after we were only there for 2 nights. After the first night, I was like, this isn't long enough just to be at a resort. So I would recommend that everyone try and experience it one time because it's the shorter trips. We have to be mindful of our finances. And that was how we could afford to go to a deluxe resort because it was a shorter stay. You actually can relax at Disney. It doesn't always have to be rope drop to park close. You can still have fun. I'm not a big fan of swimming, but Lorelei is, and that sand bottom pool is pretty awesome. We built sand castles and buried each other in the sand, and I feel like sometimes you can make family memories that you would just blow by if you were just only doing the parks every day.
For sure. That's awesome. I love hearing that. That is a great place to relax too. I know you said you're not much of a swimming, but I'm sure Lorelei loved it. Like you were saying, the sandcastle pool. I love like all the like rocking chairs around that area too. You got Beaches and Cream. You got some great dining through all the boardwalk area. What a great place to just do a resort only. So you did that right for sure.
Yeah, and we were lucky too. I kept checking the app like Ricky always says, and within 24 hours, I was able to get a Beaches and Cream reservation because we kind of made this a last minute trip. So it was less than 60 days and all of the reservations had been taken by the time we decided to do this. So that's my one big tip is just keep checking. I checked in the morning and at night every single day until one opened up and we were able to do it. And let me tell you that No Way Jose was delicious.
Oh, so good.
I love it.
I've seen Scott. We were running through. We're running through Yacht Club with a. Where were we? We were at the convention center.
We were leaving.
We were
leaving the studios, I think, and you wanted Ample Hills, and I'm more of a Beaches and Cream guy. I'm like, can we just stop here real quick? So I got a No Way Jose to go, and I had to basically inhale that thing because it was 110 degrees outside, and we're walking to the boardwalk with it.
You remember that? It was the craziest thing. Yeah, and speaking of Beaches and Cream, Mallory just this afternoon, she's like, I just saw this thing I want to get in a couple weeks when we're down there. And she showed that that Beaches and Cream shake that's got it's got the cake or the cupcake or something on top. You know, it looks like the stuff you get over at what's that place at Universal? The
Toothsome?
Yeah, it's that crazy shake. She's like, I gotta get one of those, Uncle. We gotta get an ADR then because the ice cream window's closed. So yeah, same thing, Trisha. So I need some luck. I've been looking, so we'll see what happens.
Confession. So we went down partly because of her spring break, but it was also my birthday, which is actually today. So happy birthday to me.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yes.
We actually started our meal with the Mickey Mouse Celebration Shake, which has that cupcake on top. So we had that and the No Way Jose while we were there.
That is an awesome celebration right there.
That's
like,
awesome.
I wish I would have been there.
That is an awesome celebration. My stomach is hurting just right now, just thinking about that. Oh,
I do something weird with the No Jose's. I have a bad confession to make. Like, I don't really like chocolate ice cream that much. So I actually do my No Way Jose with double vanilla, which is still good, but a little less chocolate. I'm assuming you just did it how it comes.
Yeah, I didn't know there was chocolate in it. She was eating on one side and I was eating on the other. So I got the vanilla side, which was fine.
That's awesome right there. That's a good mom. Yeah. Kid have the chocolate. All right. Well, hey, Lorelei, thanks for calling in. And I'll let you know if I go up in that balloon in a couple weeks. I'll post it on Instagram. My scared face. My scaredy cat face. All right. And you can laugh.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Trisha. Hey, happy birthday. Thanks for calling in.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.
You know, I do have a photo of me with your family in there, Mike, so I could just like Photoshop you in or something, right?
Right. I was like, dude, I'm going to a media event. Go ride that balloon all you want. I'm going to be at Epcot. All right. We have our next caller on the line. Who's joining us?
Hey, what's up? It's David over in Texas. How's it going, guys?
Hey, David. What's going on?
Hi, doing good, man. Good to finally touch base with you guys. I wanted to talk a little bit about Disney transportation tonight.
Yes.
And some options.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So what I've been watching, okay, so we love to do a good split stay. We're DVC, so we'll bounce around between 2 or 3 resorts on property, and then we really love Vero Beach, so we try to always hit that on a trip. And what I've been noticing is the rental car prices went through the roof. So after the announcement of the Magical Express going away, and I was going to see if anybody else has noticed that. Okay. Or if it's just something that might be what popped up on my end.
No, what I've heard, now this makes sense though, is that rental car prices everywhere are crazy, not just Disney, but at all, airports and stuff. And the reason this is happening for the most part is that when COVID hit about a year ago, and this is again tech podcast, but this makes sense. Yeah. So when COVID hit like a year ago, a lot of these big car rental companies were stuck with these huge bunches of cars that nobody was renting now, and they didn't know how long this was going to go on, and they sold off their fleets. So right now a lot of these like Hertz and whatever, Budget and Thrifty and all them, they don't have the inventory of cars because they sold them off and they didn't buy new ones to replace them. Now they're trying to, but even now it's hard to get some car parts with the chip shortage. I mean, they've shut down some assembly lines. So it's a supply and demand thing. And what it is, we're coming out of this like so hot, like so fast. I think that from what I've heard is there's just not a lot of rental cars to go around. And I've heard to make sure that if you even think about wanting to have a rental car, make sure you get a reservation well in advance of your trip, because a lot of people are, before COVID, you could have showed up at MCO and just, there's so many rental car companies, you could have grabbed a car last minute, like, oh man, the line's too long, I'm just going to rent a car real quick. You're not doing that now. So you bring up, that's a good thing to bring up for about that's thinking about going this summer.
Yeah, because literally, we were planning a trip for January 2022, and I was like, we're trying to do a split stay, and we want to go to Vero Beach and hit up another spot, hit another place, Legoland. We're huge Lego fans, so we need a rental car. And I thought, let's just look and see what it is. Literally 100% increase in prices from July, and then even January 2021, our last trip, about 75% increase. So I thought, man, I wonder what's going on here. And then I was going to ask Scotty. I know Scotty, I've heard you get a rental car a lot. I look at ratings, and Alamo, Enterprise, these other places have high ratings. I'm an Alamo insider. I thought, is there a company that you like to go with often, or do you just bounce around between different places and what's got the best deal?
Yeah, it's a great question, David. I do. So I used to do Alamo like all the time, actually, because there used to be like an AP kind of thing too, but I haven't seen that in like years, basically. But I am an Alamo insider too. I like Alamo. What I've been doing lately, though, it's still owned by the same company. I swear, like there's like 5 different companies, but they're all like owned by the same parent, basically. But I really like National because we're part of their Emerald company. So what we've really benefited from, thank God, like National hasn't changed this rule, but like you pay like a fixed rate per day no matter what. So we'll pay like, I think it's like $35 or $40 a day. So during this like boom Mike was talking about, we were actually locked in for being like a member of their company there. So we really like National, and we just use their Emerald aisle. That's been really working really well for us.
Okay, that sounds good. Because when you're looking at reviews, there's some that have super cheap prices at MCO. You get it, but they're either off property. You have to take the shuttle, which I've heard some disasters on that end of people trying to get to the off property side, and 50%, just bad reviews. So I thought I've usually stuck with Alamo, Enterprise. I'll check out National. And then have you guys rented on property there at Disney? I've never done that. I know they have that car care center on property. Yeah. Is it fairly easy to do that?
I have not. Gosh, I wish I had. Actually, a friend of the show, of mine and Mike's, is going to do that this summer. So unfortunately, I won't have any insight on that until this summer when he tries it. But I can't imagine it's any different, really, right? I think you just have to find a way to get there is the problem. And I think they can
come and get you.
They can come and get you, right?
Yeah, come and get you at your hotel.
Oh, nice.
So it sounds kind of awesome to me, right? And it could be cheaper. It could be cheaper there.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to figure out the best way to get it set up, because I'm also a little nervous. So when we do these split stays, I'm really nervous. We try to plan it where we leave one resort and we're going to go to the park and then land at the next resort next to that park. So if we were at Polynesian, we're going to leave Polynesian, go to Magic Kingdom, and then we're going to drive and then end our day maybe at Kidani, because we know the next day we're going to be at Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, I like that strategy.
So our luggage and stuff is staying with us the whole time. And so I'm nervous about getting our luggage transported. I guess they're pretty good, but I've never had that done. So I thought from one resort to the next, especially if we're doing 3 or 4 split stay over, a 10-day period or something.
So I've done it. I know Mike's done it too. I know he has a heck of a story that I'm sure he shared many times, but
my sneakers, where are my sneakers?
But I trust it.
The story. Yeah, the sneakers. Yeah.
But it is really efficient, I like to, if you do the transfer with them, I like to call them like the night before and let them know, like, hey, we're checking out tomorrow. Like, we have an ADR here or whatever. Can you swing by 7:30 a.m., 8 a.m., whatever it is, to come pick up our bags? They'll do it. And then it's kind of like Magical Express, right? Then all of a sudden, I guess they don't put it in your room. I think you have to actually go to Bell Services when you go to your next resort to let them know you're there. And then they'll just roll it up in a cart. But it's pretty seamless. But I like having the car. It's extra work because you have to walk out to your car, pull your car. Well, actually, you just pull your car up to the front and load it up. But I just feel more secure that way. That's just kind of how I am.
Yeah, it's a security thing, and it's just knowing, hey, I've got my stuff. But I might try it. I've always been amazed with the Disney Cruise Line of how you just, you drop your luggage off, and all of a sudden it shows up by your stateroom.
Isn't that so weird though? Like you see all this luggage just sitting out in the staterooms.
Yeah. It's so weird your first cruise, and then you're always like, you see everybody's got bags outside, but you got, 4, but you don't have your 5th bag. And the 5th bag is always my suitcase. I'm like, dude, we're halfway to Castaway Cay, and I don't know where my suitcase is.
What cracks me up the most is like, those people that are doing like a land and sea because they have like 15 suitcases outside. They're like, where are they going to put that in that stateroom, right? And that's usually me. That's normally my family.
Yeah, that's one of those good. It's just one of those deals. I bet we just happened to be looking at yesterday because I thought we're just trying to do some planning for the next trip, and I thought, man, I'm curious what's going to happen, and I'll give you guys an update of what we end up landing on to see what goes. Hopefully the rental car stuff might clear up by January, but it's like no one knows on all this stuff with all the things changing so rapidly. But,
it's such a unique thing because, we were so hardcore shut down, for a lengthy period of time. And now, I think we're coming out of this super aggressively too. Like, I mean, I can tell you that people are very curious about travel for this summer and then this fall and moving forward. So I think that, it's one of those things like they had to cut costs, but all of a sudden they wish instead of cutting back on their fleets, they probably wish they would have doubled their fleets to have the inventory, because I think also what goes into this, there's a lot of things you could talk about, but I mean, having a car keeps you in, again, an environment where you're kind of bubbled with your travel party, right? You're not getting on that part of it. You're not getting on a bus or anything like that. So that's probably
I haven't even been on a bus since COVID. And I've been down like 4 or 5 times. I just had to be in the car.
Yeah, I think we just did we did monorail, we did our car, and then we did Skyliner, and Skyliner was pretty, I mean, there's just one party, and it was pretty smooth. I'm okay with the bus. It's just, there's a few more unknowns that I'm hopefully, everybody's going through the same deal, and I guess we'll eventually get there on something that's going to be known on that. But yeah, you're right. There's those factors. I'm curious. I thought I'd call in on that because I just happened to notice that just yesterday. Man, the prices were at least 100% increase for the highly.
And expect long waits too. So
I've heard that too. There's super long waits.
Thanksgiving, we've landed the day after Thanksgiving, and oh my god! So when you leave, if for those that rented a car, like it's kind of over by like the Magical Express area, you like to have to kind of cross the street basically. And there's like a giant escalator and all this. Like we were like at the bottom of that escalator. Like we had to wait like 45 minutes just to get a rental car. And then you had to wait. Like once you pick out your car, you have to wait to leave because you have to do like all the registration and all that. Oh my gosh. I'm like, I just want to go, It was like longer than Magical Express. But David, I wonder if you have similar luck like I do. Oh, go ahead.
That touchless said that they kept on hitting me up with that touchless, contactless check-in. And it was strangely weird. I mean, I was like, they said, "Hey, you're here for a car?" Yeah, here's my, it's show. And they just said, "All right, go pick one out." It was almost too easy last time I was there. That was January. Yeah. Things have changed,
Well, that's the emerald. That's the emerald aisle for you. Like we don't even talk to a cast member or associate or whatever. We're like, okay, we're part of this emerald aisle, and we just go in and just grab a car. It is the strangest thing, and I'm always afraid. Like,
I was like, did they know I took this? I don't even know. I guess they'll know something here in a minute. I don't know.
I'm always afraid when I go to like the turnstile or the exit that they're going to be like, "Sir, this doesn't qualify for your type of car." Like, what am I going to do in that case?
Back to Ferrari, you get the escort.
I know exactly.
Oh man, that's great.
Oh, but yeah, well, definitely let us know. It's super great talking to you. Give us a call anytime. And let me ask you one other question before you go, because I'm curious. You mentioned Vero Beach. Not too many people have made it down that way, even DVC members. So what are your thoughts on that? I mean, you said you like it. What are some highlights of visiting there?
It's so awesome right now. Well, the way we landed on it is because we love Disney cruising. And we're like, man, we got to get to the beach, but we want to do it Disney. And so it's super laid back. And right now, with some of the restrictions, they don't have everything open, but you still have a really nice pool. You still have a lot of activities that they're offering on site. Like this last one, we did the fishing expedition, or it'd almost be like an excursion where they have a little private pond out there, and we caught fish for an hour straight, a family of 4 out of this little pond. They provide the gear, they provide everything you need, and you just go out and go fishing in this little pond. They have, just typical things, like a community center where they'll have crafts. They have, you have the ocean and the beach. It's just really nice, very chill, very laid back, not a lot of people there. Even when we were there in July, it wasn't super busy, and we went back again in January, not that busy. I mean, it's kind of a hidden gem, so I don't want to tell a whole lot.
I hear you. Yeah, Mike, I think David just sold our friend Mark on DVC right there. I'm just saying, with the fishing.
It's really reasonable on DVC too when you're looking at points, because I'm always looking at where's the best value for the points that I've got, and it's actually very reasonable if you hit the right times of the year. And I almost want to call it my home resort, even though our home resort was bought in on Riviera, and I love Riviera. We stayed there last night. I like it. I mean, obviously it's a great resort, but Vero is just like it's not like Castaway or anything like that, but it's just got a great beach, very nice feel, easy drive from Orlando from the parks. You know, you'll be there in less than 2 hours, and just a great experience overall. I mean, I recommend it to anybody. And honestly, I don't think a lot of people are going to go if they're into the like a lot of attractions. It's going to be definitely somewhere you want to go and kind of relax. Maybe at the end of a Disney vacation, go hit Vero Beach to kind of do your relaxing time. You know,
love it.
That's a great like Walt Disney World, Disney Cruise Line, like hybrid. Like you said, I mean, it's almost like the perfect, like if you got the ships here, you got the theme parks here, that's kind of meet in the middle, little Vero Beach. And
Hilton Head too. You throw Hilton Head in there.
Well, Trisha just called talking about the resort only stay. I've done that once, and what it does, I mean, it takes the pressure off. I mean, when you're at Walt Disney World, you're on vacation, but it's like there's so much to do, and you feel like you're missing out if you're not at the theme parks. If you're at Vero Beach, hey, you're just chilling, you're swimming, you're fishing, you're on vacation. Imagine that.
Yeah, you're on vacation. They have a great mini golf. We're always talking about mini golf. Now, it's going through a little refurbishment right now, but they're about halfway through, it looks like, and it's just super fun. Kids have a great time. There's plenty to do, and like I said, if you're doing at the end of your theme park trip, you know, everybody just kind of wants to chill out anyway. So it's very nice.
That's awesome.
I recommend it. You know, especially right now with the cruise line. I mean, we're super pumped about cruises. We were looking at those again too. We're like, man. Yeah. Soon enough, though. You know,
I'm pumped about the Disney. We skipped this on the news. It wasn't like a huge news thing, but Captain Minnie on the Disney Wish, like that was awesome.
That's right.
Oh yeah. To deal with the coin too. I didn't know about the coin that they, you know, that was part of the something. You know, they put it. Where was it at? But they, you know, every cruise ship gets a special coin put into the ship, and then it's like this Captain Minnie. Yeah, pretty neat.
Yeah, it's called the Keel coin. I have one for the Dream. When they did the Dream, Pam Forrester got that for me as a gift. I'm like, yeah, now I got to find it.
Wow, that's awesome.
I know. I saw it and I'm like, oh my gosh, where'd I put it when I packed up my office at the old house? I know it's in one of the boxes.
You donated it for an auction item, Mike. It's gone.
I might have. Well, we'll see. It's pretty cool though. Yeah, but okay. So real quick, you've cruised many times with Disney Cruise Line. I mean, is this something you guys do often?
Well, you know, we've done 4 of them. And we had our 5th one canceled, obviously, this year. So we're trying to get gold this year. We're in Texas, so we really want to see what kind of Galveston does with their, you know, getting back opened up and seeing how they're going to cruise out. But yeah, we're hoping to get back out of Galveston. Maybe it'll probably December 2022 is just the best time right now. But yeah, Disney Cruise Line all the way. We're really kind of, and also with that, of course, we go on a cruise if we get one. There's no doubt about it. But we're really hoping that we want to see what the restrictions look like.
Same.
You know, kind of see how that's going to play out. Because we've done Disney, you know, and been to the parks, and we're okay with the restrictions. But we're kind of ready to, like, hey, let's see what. Kind of waiting to see, you know, maybe these get lifted a little bit more.
Well, because
especially with the shows, the shows on the cruise ship, but they don't have those. That's almost a game breaker for, you know, a deal breaker for us.
I agree. Well, plus too, you know, the cruise ships are kind of the best and the worst when it comes to this situation that we're in, right? I mean, because they were hit the hardest when this all went down. Yeah. But I mean, coming out of this, obviously they can make these vaccinate. You know, you can only board if you have proof of vaccination, and you know, kids can take rapid tests or something. You know, it seems like while it seems like it's maybe one of the higher risk kind of vacations, it could also be the most controlled environment the entire time, especially if initially maybe you don't, because I'm not even one that's into doing a lot of port adventures when you get into ports. Now I do like some, like we like going to Cozumel and doing stuff, but yeah, I would be fine like doing a cruise to nowhere for like 3 or 4 nights.
A sea cruise. Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Totally. I'd be totally fine with that.
I'll just be on deck 4 the whole time. But
seriously,
did you just spend $10,000 just in the lounge shirt? Yes, I did.
Yeah, it's man, that'd be super awesome. And really, and both my wife and I are both vaccinated, so we feel if they said show us a card, fine, man, I'll show you a card. It doesn't
Put me on that ship. Yeah, I'll show you my card.
On a cruise ship, I'll show you my card. I mean, there's a lot. Well, my wife's done a lot of international travel. She's had to show all sorts of things for, of vaccinations and things like that, other things that he's had to do in the past. So you're kind of like, well, this can be kind of, it happens in other scenarios. So if they don't see a COVID vaccine card, then that's fine.
Right.
I think it could be controlled. I think there's a few things we're just hoping it. I guess we'll see when they're doing those in June and Europe, some of those European cruises that are just the cruise only.
Yep.
Okay, so I'd be curious. I'll be keeping an eye on, as everybody else, how those are going to pan out.
That's their test. So we'll see. Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, it's still I still have a hard time wrapping my mind around that. It's been over a year that those ships have sat empty. I mean, before this happened, when there was a hurricane, I couldn't believe they missed a sailing. Like they missed a whole entire sailing, like one sailing, like 4 ships have just been in and out of Port Canaveral, anchored off Cocoa Beach, Castaway Cay over to Europe. It's just when we go back and look at this a decade from now, it's going to be just remarkable. Like just that this stuff.
It's crazy. Yeah. Well, we thought we had a December 2021 cruise. And I remember thinking in July, I thought, man, we're totally in. This isn't a big deal. We're going to be going. And obviously, I was completely wrong.
Right.
But like, man, who would have thought? I thought, man, even back in March when we were looking at, December cruises will be just fine. March of 2020, when all this happened, we were thinking, well, we had our December 2020 cruise is when it was planned. And we thought, well, surely we're going to get to go. It should be all right. I couldn't believe, just the escalation of everything, how it's went. And, I'm sure you guys, everybody's had these cruises canceled, in fall, and it's hard to predict at this point. I really just don't know. I just quit predicting.
Trust me. Everybody always asks me, all my guests, like, wait, when we're cruising? I'm like, I'm not even guessing anymore. Nope, not even giving a date. I'm hoping soon. That's all I say. Hopefully soon. We'll see. But hey, future cruise credit, right? That's how you got to look at it, right? Yeah, future cruise credit.
Yeah, you look at that, and then you have an option. You got Vero Beach. That's a great awesome place to go to get the hybrid. I like your idea, the hybrid cruise type experience.
Well, hey, thank you so much for giving us a holler down in Texas, and don't be a stranger, man. It's been great talking to you.
Yeah, you bet. Great
talking with you, David.
We'll talk to you guys again soon.
All right,
see you guys later.
Take care. Have a good week. Bye-bye.
All right.
All right, that's a lot of fun, man.
Yeah.
DVC members know their stuff. People at cruise. Yeah. It's fun to talk Disney, right? I mean, sorry.
Sure. I know Phil and Teresa did a Vero after like marathon weekend. Talk about relaxation after doing Dopey and just hanging out there. I remember Phil told me that was like one of the best, trips ever. I think they were going to go to Miami or something afterwards, but it was a nice little break in the trip.
Sounds good to me. All right, we have our next caller on the line. Who's joining us?
Hi, this is Brooke from Pennsylvania. How are you?
Good. Brooke from Pennsylvania. It's Mike, and we got Scotty G up in the mitten. What's going on?
I have never talked to Scotty on the phone. Hi, nice to meet you.
Hey, Brooke in Pennsylvania. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm the one who Instagrammed you about the barges. I'm just curious about your opinions on them because I know you're such an Epcot lover and, you're an Illumination fan, and I know Harmonious, we're looking forward to it, but it's just such big changes. I'm just curious about how you guys feel. I mean, the views to me were such a part of being in World Showcase. So it's just a huge change.
I'm going to let my reasonable brother from another mother go first on this one because he's more reasonable than I.
I'm a very optimistic person. I have not seen the barges in real life. This is one where Mike's actually going to beat me. He's going to see him before I do. So I've seen the photos, and what's funny, my last time at Disney, it was in February, and we were doing like Festival of the Arts touring, and I took so many great shots of like World Showcase, and I look back at those photos, and I'm thinking like, gosh, that might be the last time I get like those unobstructed like photos that I took, and then that makes me kind of sad a little bit, but I'm optimistic to see the excitement. It seems like it's a little bit of an eyesore right now, right? So I have no idea firsthand what it looks like in the park, but I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. I'm really excited to see it. Mike's sharing an unobstructed view right there.
World Showcase.
Yeah. But I'm excited to see the show. I'm very curious about like the daytime fountain, right? Like I'll be honest, I'm not like super up to speed on it, but I believe there's gonna be like a fountain show right during the day, and I think that would be super cool with a cool soundtrack or something. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
How do you feel, Brooke?
I mean, I guess I'm a little nervous. I'm looking forward to this show, but they're just huge. I mean, I haven't been there, everybody, so I'm just looking on what I see on social media, on YouTube, and other pictures. And even with the fountains going, I mean, I don't know. We went to Disneyland for the first time, I guess 2 years ago now, and when we were there and we saw World of Color, like I guess the water and whatever like that is, it was a little bit low, and we could see all the fountain heads, and that was interesting. I didn't even expect to see that, and then once I got home and saw pictures online, I guess that was unusual. Usually you don't see all of that during the day. Mm-hmm. And I felt it was weird. Like my pictures have all these like fountain heads in it, and this is huge. They look like sea monsters or something.
Sea monsters, I love it.
Like a Loch Ness monster or something. They're
exactly. That's what I always think. I just like waiting for a head to pop up. Like maybe it's a peach dragon thing. Like maybe there's some connection to some old school IP. I don't know. No, that's not what it is. But
I wish there was a way it could be underwater, right? I wish there was.
Right. I thought it would. Yeah. I seriously thought when I heard about this at first, like it would submerge during the day and pop out. You know,
And I know it's going to be covered in water with the fountains all day. It's just, you know, I like standing on one side of the water and seeing. I mean, you'll still see that, but it's going to be such a big change.
Yeah, but then there's sometimes the same World Showcase, and I see the Swan and Dolphin, and I'm like, oh no.
That's true.
Here's what I say. Real quick, I say on this real quick, like I'm not going to pass judgment until I see the show. Because if the show, like, you know, if I say, oh my gosh, I loved Illuminations, but Harmonious is even better, which I have said before, because I loved Wishes, right? And the first couple times I saw Happily Ever After, it was okay. But the more I see Happily Ever After, the more I like it. I really have kind of started to like it. Well, not now, obviously nothing. But before all this, I really do like Happily Ever After. So I may like Harmonious even better than Illuminations because I tend to like the new stuff. And after I kind of get used to it. But right now, I mean, like when I go down there and there's no fireworks show, this is at the end of this month, I'm just like, God. I mean, because like I've seen the pictures. I mean, those Imagineers, like they knew, because I mean they're so good. Like they draw everything to scale and model it and everything. But I mean, when they put those things in World Showcase, they themselves had to be like, holy smokes, those things are big. I mean, like Imagineers
for sure.
And
I'm sure they do like these massive 3D models and have got their like virtual reality goggles and they're in this world. It's shocking that it's such a huge change. I mean, we're all used to Disney changing, and Disney fans are all used to getting, excited or upset about changes, whichever way you land on issues. But this is a real one. This is crazy.
It is crazy. It's like, I don't even know how to explain it.
But I'm all for new entertainment, especially after this year, of people going and not having nighttime entertainment. It will be great to have shows back.
But okay, during the day, if they have the fountains going though, and say you get a windy day, because I mean, I've been down there where it's been really windy. Like, I'm just thinking, if you're downwind of these things, you are going to be just drenched. I mean, it could be sunny in Norway in like, a category 2 hurricane in France. You know what I'm saying? Depending on where the winds blow.
True. I bet they have like sensors, because like fountains in the city, I'm not far from New York, and I work in plazas sometimes on the architect, and the fountains will have wind sensors.
Oh, that's a good
idea.
Once
wind gets above a certain, speed, that it's still shut down like that. But,
think about the fountain show.
Maybe not. Who knows? If it's a hot day, then maybe it's good.
True. That's true.
Like, now there's a water ride in Epcot.
That's exactly right. Here's tidal wave, also known as Harmonious, after 7.
Yes.
Exactly.
I was gonna say, like, I said something that just got me thinking. Like, there's probably gonna be like a score to the fountain show, but then like that has me worried a little bit, because like if I'm in Italy listening to like this awesome Italy background loop, then all of a sudden like this big like dramatic music starts playing for this fountain show, that's gonna feel like really out of place, isn't it? Like it's different at nighttime. It's a fireworks show.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's news to me about.
No, I'm guessing. I don't know. I'm assuming there's going to be a score.
Oh, okay.
Right?
You're thinking like it's going to be the Bellagio kind of thing.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, all day.
I don't know. I mean, it seems like it. No, we'll see. I mean, I'm glad you brought that up though, and it is. I think this is what makes Disney fun. People are like, oh, you talk about Disney, and all it is a vacation destination, but it's just basically it's a fun hobby and it's like a sport. Like we speculate, right now I'm like, okay, what's wrong with the Cardinals pitching? Like right now we're talking like, what this Harmonious? What's going to happen?
Speaking of Bellagio, they're going to have like odds against like when things are going to open, right?
Yeah, exactly. Is it going to be before July 20th?
We'll give you 4-1 on it.
Hey, Brooke, thanks for calling in. I really appreciate it. You have a good week.
Thanks for doing this, guys. It's been really great over
okay, give us a call next week. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Yep.
Mike, speaking of like wishes and happily ever after, like, I was a diehard Wishes fan. I'm still like on the fence about happily ever after, but I kid you not, just this week, like the soundtrack played on like, I don't know where it was, like on my phone or something. And happily ever after played. And like, I realized like how badly, like I missed that show right now,
Yeah, right.
It was awesome.
Well, because it has the Hercules song. I love the Go the Distance song.
I know you do.
I could go, and I've never seen the movie. So.
But what's funny, like I could picture like every like firework. I knew what each transition song was going to be. Like that's how many times I've heard it now.
See, that's how I was with Wishes and especially Illuminations. To you in my life, I've heard the Illumination soundtrack. I mean, conservatively, I've listened to it 500 times. Way more.
It's more like a 2,000.
Yeah, because I played it every day for silent reading in my 6th grade class for years.
I listen to it every day. Like, let's see how many days of work I've done since I've been to Disney. That's how many times I listen to it.
You know how cool that's going to be to see a nighttime show, though, when it comes back? I mean, it's gonna be like that is going to be something that almost be like the first time.
Yeah, for the first time in forever.
Oh, my gosh. I cannot wait because I love some fireworks. I think it'll be soon. All right, 407-413-9395. We've got about 5 minutes to the top of the hour. Sneak in one more call, maybe. Let's see. There was a question here from Walt.
I was rolling from a comment about like someone's son thing they want to do at Epcot is visit the Scotty G's bathroom or something.
I think that was Michelle. Michelle said, let me get this real quick when we got our last call. She says, ask my son what he wanted to make sure we do on an upcoming trip. His reply was to be sure to check out Scotty G's Epcot bathroom.
That is awesome.
Your kid is awesome, and there's a lot wrong with your kid. I'm just saying, both can be true at the same time. All right, we have our last call today. Who's joining us?
Hey, Mike. Hey, Scott. It's Marlessa.
What's going on?
Hey, Marlessa.
Hey, guys. Yeah, it's been a few weeks. I wanted to try to sneak in tonight. It's been a stressful week for me, definitely, but wanted to, talk some Disney with you, as is always fun.
It's always a great stress reliever. I've been stressed as well, and this is like the best hour of the week, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I do want to quickly say that, so I like chocolate ice cream, but Scott, I'm totally with you on how I definitely prefer vanilla for sundaes. I just think there's something so classic about it. Like when I'm thinking like a sundae, I think vanilla ice cream.
And I think
it goes with everything.
Yeah, and I think vanilla can like carry the toppings better, right? Like with the peanut butter. Like I know like chocolate and peanut butter is a great combination, but like if you load a whole bunch of toppings on something, it needs to be vanilla based. Like I don't know. That's just how I roll.
Exactly. Like vanilla is like your solid base.
Mm-hmm.
Your solid base for everything else.
Chocolate is rich.
You are overruled right now.
Well, Mike, did you see that Marlessa wants us to make a ringtone of the Splash Mountain rap so that when she calls me, that will play?
I have to get on that. I still never got on my phone. I could make the thing in 15 minutes. I never did figure out how to get on my phone. So
see, you make them. I know how to convert them to the phone.
I make them an email. There you go.
Yeah. So so Mike, if you can hook us up, that would be.
I will work on it.
So what? Aside from ice cream, which is always a great topic, I love the podcast this week about talking about things that no matter how many times we've been to Disney, still really excite us. So I agreed with all the ones that you guys mentioned, but I think for me, it's almost the little sound effect moments, for lack of a better term, like when you're on the monorail and you hear "Please stand clear of the doors." There's like something about that ever since I've been a kid, it's just immediately makes me think of Disney. It's just a line that pops into my head. And I mean, I'm in New York City, so we have subways all the time. They do not nicely say "Please stand clear of the door."
Get in.
So.
Mike, I think Marlessa's really going to like Monday's episode.
I think so. I think you're really going to like tomorrow's show. Hey, real quick. Hey, Scott, text me real quick. You don't have to text anything important. Just text me so my phone will make a noise. I'm just doing this to show off for Marlessa. Hang on, Marlessa. Listen. Where's that? Here it is.
You want me to text you?
Send me a blank text so that she's going to get a kick out of this.
Oh, yeah, she will. I know what you're saying.
There we go. This is so exciting here. Ready, everybody? Come on. Well, that's not right. Oh, it's my watch.
Oh, it went to your. Oh,
anyway, I have the monorail chime.
All we heard was the ding.
Yeah, it goes. Doo, doo, you know the sound. Anyway, that was that wasn't worth it.
That was a bad experiment.
That was terrible. That was terrible.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
That's not how the podcast usually goes. Anyway, so yeah, I'm with you though. The monorail, like you're there because especially that's interesting though because you're from New York where public transport is obviously the way to get around. Like I'm in Missouri, you don't ride. I mean, like we have buses in downtown St. Louis, but you just don't ride the buses if you're from the suburbs. Like you just don't you don't know how it works. Like I don't know. Like do you have a car? Do you pay cash? I have no idea. Like you just drive a car. So it's interesting that it still gets you because that's something you guys kind of do.
Yeah, like something about the sound effect and even or being on I mean I know the Magical Express is going away this year, but that video because on my last trip I don't know if you remember I was pretty annoyed in the Discord because going from the airport to the resort for some reason on my Magical Express the video wasn't playing, so I was messaging. I was like, is there something wrong with the video? Did they take it down? And everyone was like, it worked on my bus. Seems to be just your bus. And I was like, oh no, why would they do this to me? But then it was fine on the way back to the airport. But just even that, I just get very excited. Just because we talk all the time about the amazing music loops throughout the parks, which I know Scotty loves as well. But I think like aside from that, like those little sound effects moments that are uniquely Disney, the WDW Today channel, the Please Stand Clear of the Doors, like all those little things. Because I think like if I tried to list ride moments, I would be here all night. So I wanted to try to lean into just like a topic of those uniquely Disney sound effect moments that just let you know that you really are here. Even if you've heard it a million times, it still excites you. You're just like, oh my God.
This sounds like a podcast episode.
Like I literally get that excited.
It does. I think this has to be a podcast episode. But I mean, it's like that ringtone for those that don't know. Like I was just messing around and I made a ringtone for Scott because, well, you'll hear why tomorrow. Again, it came out of that show. Again, we record things out of order, just a little behind the scenes, right? After we got done recording that show, I was like, dude, I need this ringtone. We were talking about and it's that beginning of Living with the Land where that flute comes in and goes doo-doo-doo-doo.
Oh my gosh.
So when I hear that, because I used to play it on Magical Mouse Radio, right? All the time. And I'd be at school and I'd have it playing in the classroom. And as soon as I heard that, just the like I could feel, because when you're on the ride at that point, you're moving into that part where there's the thunderstorm and the water's coming down the roots and under the tree, and like you can almost feel like a mist in the air, and it has that smell. Like just those 4 notes like took me. I was dead sitting on a boat every time I hear that.
This is great. So I obviously set that up as like my text and ringtone, and I had my phone plugged into the car today. We're driving. I think I have it on XM, like Lithium or something, listening to like a 90s grunge song. And my boss texts me, and all through the car speakers, it goes do 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 do. I'm like, whoa, Lithium's playing Living with the Land. Like, what's going on? It was so awesome. So if anyone has my number, like please text and call me all day. Like, I will love that.
You're so right, though. You're so let me okay, so you got the sounds, and I think that is so true. I think that's why, I mean, there's a huge kind of subculture of people that collect all the Disney, tracks where you can find them. And they're harder to find now than they used to be, but
they're hard to find now, man.
You can go to YouTube and listen to a lot of them now, though, so that helps, if you want to just kind of stream it. But yeah, that's interesting. So what else? I mean, Magical Express replacement, Club Cool, Creation Shop instead of Mouse Gear. What do you think about that kind of stuff?
So for the replacement, I'm intrigued to see how it'll work out. I think I wasn't able. I think I missed like the first few minutes. I don't know if they've announced like a pricing or anything. No, right? They haven't.
Next month.
But yeah, so I mean, I think that'll definitely affect the decision for a lot of people. Like I personally, if the price is like really expensive, would probably opt for the lift option. Because I don't think I'd be comfortable just driving around Florida where I'm not used to driving around. But I don't know. I mean, I hope the price is right to reference a beloved classic show.
Right.
But I think with Lyft, I mean, I understand the concerns that a lot of people have with Lyft. I mean, I will say that, the past year with COVID, I've been on the subway like once. And as I've mentioned before, I don't have a car. So anytime I've needed to go somewhere out of my neighborhood, like a doctor's appointment, I have Lyfted. And despite the fact that I've done it several times, I completely understand being nervous to do it like on your own. So I like one tip I did want to get in there, especially if someone is by themselves, is that, aside from the fact that obviously Lyft will show you the picture of the driver and the license plate, so you can always check that. But one thing that I think is a good tip is that when the driver pulls up, like basically make them tell you that they know your name. So
Right.
instead of saying, "Hey, are you waiting here for Marlessa?" I say, "Hey, who are you waiting for?" So they have to tell me that they're here for Marlessa, because because like if you're giving them your name and it's, God forbid,
They could just say,
not the right driver, they could say, "Oh yeah, I'm totally here for."
I've
for
told
you.
that to
So
Paige too.
it's just like,
and check the license against the app.
so it's just an extra safety measure that I like to do. So just the tip I want to pass on to anyone that might be listening and might be nervous for Lyft. But I mean, especially like with the lizards, I mean, I'm already thinking like for future race weekends. I mean, I think, we can always easily coordinate Lyft rides with multiple people, stuff like that.
Right.
So,
Or I always get the BOGP mystery
never
machine.
travel
So.
alone.
That's true. I didn't even get to. David called from Texas. I didn't tell him the best tip of all of the rental things. Just, you don't have to rent a car. Just have a buddy that rents a car, and then you're good. That's what Mallory always says.
I always get like those big old passenger vans, and we call it I'm going to bring some like magnet decals to call it like the Lizard Mobile next time. I'm just telling you.
I'll get some made. I have some magnets. Yeah. That's good tips though, because the thing is,
absolutely.
There's you brought up another great point. Like some people are just not comfortable driving in Central Florida. I don't have no problem with it because I drive everywhere, and it doesn't bother me one bit. But I mean, if you're like, you don't own a car, like, I mean, I've driven everywhere since I was like, 14, like you just jump in cars in Missouri.
I will say for me, like driving on Walt Disney World property is like one of my favorite things to do at Disney. I just love like the logistics of it, like, I don't know. There's something about just driving on the resort. Like I just love doing. I don't know. I'm kind of weird like that though.
We have fun.
That's okay.
We do have fun.
We're all weird here. That's why we're all friends.
That is why we're all friends. Yeah, we'll have to coordinate. The lizard. I don't know what we could call it. I'll come with some alliteration at some point. Probably not off the top of my head, but
yeah. Like or Scott, like next time you're down there, like I mean, you should start trying to have the rental car be like a bright lizard green color. So that this way, you're like captain of the Lizard Mobile.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll never be the captain. We know. I saw him in the chat earlier, and that's the greatest guy ever. I'll never be Mike Bankhead.
The captain, Mike Bankhead, is of course, our captain. But you would be the I don't know.
I could be the captain of the Lizard Mobile. That's cool. I like that.
Yes.
Yeah. And Mike Bankhead swooped in real quick. He sent a message to Mallory about how Clemson won some cheerleading championships, so they're ready to sign Mallory to the Clemson cheer squad. And he jumped in the live chat just to remind us that the big news of the day, Beverly's back, baby.
Oh, yeah.
So there you go. All right, Melissa, we got to scoot, though, because we're way over the top of the hour and got to get stuff ready for tomorrow's show. But give us a holler. I hope you're feeling better. I know you're having some struggles there, but hang in there. We've been thinking about you. And give us a call next Sunday. We'll talk. Call before like the top of the hour, though. Give us a call earlier.
Yeah, I will. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.
Take care.
See you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Well, that is going to do it for today's show. So thank you so much. Everybody who called in. A lot of new callers tonight, which was a lot of fun. And I got to talk about all kinds of stuff. This is what
I was hoping we'd hear from that lady from Michigan who called last week. Remember, we were like planning their day to like Hollywood Studios. Like she was going the next day.
That's right. I was
thinking,
if
you're listening, call in next Sunday. I want to know how that day went.
Yes.
With your niece.
Yeah, that's right. They're the one day trying to do everything. Yeah, totally. Yeah. If you're listening on Thursday, give us a call Sunday. Put on, tell your phone. We need to talk to you. Okay, so we are going to duck out of here. Don't forget tonight's show always brought to you by the mouse for less. Well, kind of, but the magic for less. So when it comes time for your next Disney vacation, just drop by themagicforless.com. While you're there, check out all the great specials and fill out the quote form. If you mention the Be Our Guest podcast, it comes right to me, a little behind the scenes. And I promise I'll get back to you right away. We'll plan a great trip together. You won't pay a penny extra. and you get some awesome service. Again, themagicforless.com. Also use our Amazon affiliate link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. Free way to support the show. And a huge shout out to our patrons. You guys are being awesome, allowing us to do the 4 shows a week on the feed. Plus, you, me, and Scotty G every Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. If you'd like one extra podcast, if you want to go 5 for 5 on every week, you get Mike in the Midwest every Thursday morning. So just drop by patreon.com/beourguestpodcast for more information on that. And if you don't mind this week, we'd sure love a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts. We've been around 13 years now, and some of our old reviews and ratings have kind of gone stale, and that's kind of sad. So if you don't mind, that's a free way to support the show as well. Just drop by Apple Podcasts, wherever you download your show, and just put in a couple nice words, a little rating there would be awesome. And I sure appreciate that. And thanks to everybody who has done that lately. I sure appreciate that. We're on Instagram and Twitter at BRGuestMike and at BRGuestPod. And of course, Facebook and YouTube, just search for the BRGuest Podcast. Scotty G, where can we find you?
On Instagram, I'm at Epscott, EPSCOT, and Palm Trees of Disney. I missed a couple days this week, but I promise to get back to some daily photos. It's tough to do something daily, Mike, as you know. When you have a streak like that.
I know. And it's like, well, I mean, like if you snuck in a duplicate palm tree, could you really tell? You could.
I know. I do look back. Like I feel like it's too early in the life of the account to start doing duplicates. That's why I need another trip. I need to go down there for research.
Dude, I'll be getting them all for you because I did make an ER for Olivia's today. But it's the same trees, right? I mean, it's the exact same.
Yeah, I have like 5,000 Old Key West photos though.
But yeah, I'll tell the trees to work it. Work it. You're a cat. You're a tiger. Tell them that. That'll be crazy.
That's awesome.
Anyway, we're going to get out of here. If you are listening on Thursday, hey, we got another show coming your way tomorrow. It's the Friday Roundtable with Ricky and Pam. If you're listening here live on Sunday, we got a fun one for you. It's almost like this show, but a little bit more in-depth for your Monday morning. So wherever you are, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. And shout out to the Huskers.
Bowling champions, baby.
Yeah, baby.
I was cracking up when I saw that. Oh my gosh. When I was thinking of Uber though, do you remember that one Uber we had? It was you, me, and Pam, your Pam. And we were going to the expo.
Oh, was it the dude that had the tip?
No. This is a nerd. So he was like making a deal on the phone, remember?
Yes.
I was in the front seat and like you were texting me and like because we couldn't understand what he was saying. Then all of a sudden he was like, I'll take $1 million. And I could not stop laughing.
He was in Bitcoin before like we ever.
Yeah, that's totally what it was. And he was like, I'll take $1 million. The way he said it like creeped me out. And I just could not stop laughing. I
remember I was scared that we were going to be like he was like going to take us hostage and like the million was going to be our bounty to like.
Yeah, I know. He didn't say one word of English until he said, I'll take $1 million. I was like, what is going on with this guy?
Dude, I'm not worth $1 million. I'm not worth Let me go. I got a kid.
I'm just trying to get my race back to do dopey, man.
I just want to run 46.6, 48,
48.6, whatever. I don't even know the number now.
I don't even know how far it is. Oh my gosh. Hey, it's less than 6 months, the Chicago Marathon.
There you go.
That's crazy. It was this week. Oh my gosh. That's so funny. Yeah, there you go. You need to get a palm tree heavy brand like Tommy Bahama to rep.
Ooh, there we go. There we go.
All the shirts, all the.
I do have like a Disney Old Key West fan page that follows and like reshares my stuff now. So we're making progress.
That's right. You're on there. All right. Well, hey everybody, we're gonna get out of here. And Scotty, I will talk to you later.
All right. Send me if you guys know my number, send me text and
that's right.
On my phone.
I'll put it up on Twitter.
Yeah.